apparently it's doing great. How's it? I are Sefrican and we're just gonna have a chat. Okay, well, what this video is about is my experience with the PSVR, the PlayStation VR. As you might have noticed, a lot of Let's Play channels, a lot of guys are going in the whole VR way, and I don't know if I'm going to be going that way anytime soon. This is just my personal opinion on the situation in VR at the moment and everything around it. It's in no way of what's actually out there or what people are experiencing. This is just my own personal opinion. You don't have to agree, you don't have to. But I do think it's important that people actually chat about it because there's so much hype and so much excitement around it. And I just don't feel that there's like a lot of real talk or like a lot of honesty about this thing. I'm sure by now almost everybody has had some kind of virtual reality experience, whether it's with Google Cardboard or with their phone or with the Vive or the PlayStation VR. There are tons of options and things out now for anybody to basically just spend a couple of bucks and experience some kind of VR experience. I'm kind of stuck in the middle, and I'm sure a lot of people are, between spending hundreds of dollars on a VR system and whether it's going to be worth it down the line. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm quite an early adopter when it comes to games and technology and things like that. When the PlayStation Move came out, it was gimmicky. I know, I got it early. I loved Sports Champions. What's called Sports Champions? The table tennis, the disc golf. Those were two little micro, call them tech demos, whatever. I could not put them down. I just kept playing and I just loved being part of the game, being in the game. And I really hoped that virtual reality would make me feel like that, or that the PSVR specifically would make me feel like that. Now, a big problem is that the PSVR for our territory is only being launched around about January, which is really stupid after the Christmas rush when no one has any money. But what it's done is it's given me an opportunity to see the hype and to see the real reactions that people are having with the PSVR. And some of it's not that great. There's been a lot of mixed reviews, a lot of guys saying they can't review games or they can't play games on their channels because it's making them nauseous and motion sick. Now, it doesn't happen to everyone, but what's on offer isn't that great to start with anyway. You've essentially got a collection of tech demos with one or two games such as rigs, which are really kind of more catered for the mainstream, that are really cool. A few days ago, we had a gaming expo at our local mall, and they actually had a few PlayStation VRs to try out. And I went in with an incredible amount of hype and excitement. Like, let's say my hype's at 10 out of 10. And I went and with the mindset that when this thing launches, I'm going to buy it. Not only because it is something that I want for the channel and I want other people to experience and it's fun and all this stuff, but it's something I really wanted. It's something I really wanted to take off, and I really wanted the games and everything to develop. So I always see that if people buy into the system, that they will hopefully develop more out of it. That doesn't always happen. Look at the PlayStation Vita, look at all that stuff that gets dumped anyway. Basically at this expo, they had a wide selection at the expo. They had Rush of Blood, they had rigs, they had VR worlds. I essentially thought, let me try out the actual tech demos, such as London Heist, because that's supposed to really make it shine and really make you want to be in it. So I sit down, they start strapping me into the headset and the headphones, and they give me the Move controllers. And the first thing I noticed is that the headset, the VR actual headset, is very light. It's much lighter than I thought it would be. And I didn't get to play around with it too much, but I wasn't super duper impressed with the build quality. I've got one of these cheap cell phone VR headsets that you use that's like a Chinese knockoff, and there wasn't like a massive difference. And I mean, this thing was maybe like $10, $20, the Chinese headset. So finally the game comes on into the headset, and I'm blocking everybody and everything out around me, and I'm trying to get immersed in the game. And the first thing that hits me is the pixel density of the VR headset. I have a slightly older smartphone and with the cheap headset, it wasn't that big a difference. Last time I read the specs that it's normal full HD, which in my opinion is not enough at that kind of close range. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not pixel peeping, it's not anything like that. I don't have anything 4K, I don't even have anything really 2K. Everything I've got's kind of full HD. And just at that kind of close range, I just couldn't get that feeling that the pixels are just too big. Like, it just feels like I'm staring at my 3DS from like really close. It feels like I'm looking at a 3DS from really close. And it does feel, and I do think it does because of the refresh rate, that the performance is way less. The graphics are not that great. Now I know it's new. I know everyone's going to say, this is early, this is very early. But for the price that you're paying right now for it, it's no different than buying the Move when it came out. You buy the Move, it was super hyped, it was super amazing, it's accurate, it can be amazing. There just wasn't any support. And I can't help but feel that regardless what they write, regardless what the review sites are hyping, regardless what the statements are on the games that are coming out, I just don't see the support for it. I don't know. This is why I'm making this video. Maybe you guys feel differently. I don't know where you guys are. I don't know where in the world this is everywhere it's being... I don't know where in the world this is being released and where it's delayed. I'm starting to feel that the hype train is kind of just leaving the station and the early adopters got in and they're buying it and it's great. And those guys that haven't bought it are maybe now feeling that, oh, maybe it's not worth it. Then again, it's apparently sold out in Europe or the UK. Apparently, it's doing great. It's just, I just want to be able to talk real every now and then when it comes to games and not just overhype everything. I personally don't know where I'm sitting right now with the whole PlayStation VR. The Vive and the Oculus and all those are way more expensive than the PlayStation VR. So I don't feel it's fair to compare them directly. I think in terms of bang for your buck, you're probably getting more with the PlayStation VR. But in terms of if you had to buy a VR headset if you do not have one, or you buying it just because of the excitement and the hype, I kind of feel like you might be disappointed. I'm expecting like a lot of these to hit the used market pretty soon. Not that like you'd maybe want to buy a used one, but you know, if you could find a clean one, a decently clean one, like you know why you wouldn't buy a used one, then maybe it would be worth it. I just don't know what the resale value of it is. In terms of games, there's promises, there's developers backing it, there's all sorts of things, but is any of it real right now? Is any of it in front of us right now? No. Do you have to spend the money right now to get it? Yes. You know, will it be cheaper probably a few months down the line when they start bundling things together like they always do? Yeah. I think the timing is perfect for kids and things like that for Christmas. I mean, everyone's going to be nagging for it and stuff, but in terms of my level and let's say my demographic, I think people are going to think a lot more about it and not just overhype it, especially because there's so many other competitive products as well, regardless of the price. I have no specific negative points on the PlayStation VR other than the fact that the hype was up here and my actual experience and my expectation after experiencing it for the very first time was kind of like way less. Did I get motion sick? Yeah, I did. I played London Heist and there were a few minutes where I really got into it. I was picking up the gun and shooting them, and then the magazines are next to you in the car, and I was using my left hand with the motion controller and picking up the magazines and holding a magazine and shooting, and as the clip ran out I put it in and just grabbed another one, and I was really in the moment, and it really felt, you know, like I was there regardless of the downgrading graphics and the refresh rate and the pixel density and all that stuff. But the moment you get into it and you start really getting into it, you're looking around and you hear a bike and you're turning around and you're trying to look, as soon as you start getting active in it, then I started feeling terrible. I started feeling really sick. I actually thought that maybe I was kind of just like a bit hungry, like that's what everybody seems to think. And then I ate something afterwards and I felt so nauseous, like, and it could only be attributed to that. It's the only other thing I did, which was out of my normal daily activities that I would do every day. I didn't do anything else. So the nausea factor is there. Is that to do with the refresh rate? A lot of guys say yes. Apparently there are other games that guys aren't experiencing it, and it's different for everybody. You know, someone might ride on a roller coaster and feel fine. Other people will hate it and throw up. It's one of those things that you won't know until you actually experience it. And I think it would be wise that if you go somewhere where they do have these kind of headsets, or they do have the PlayStation VR specifically, go try it out before you buy it. Like, why not? It is so expensive. Like, it would be silly not to. I know there's a lot of things in the news lately that some retailers are charging to play for the PSVR, which is just bullshit in my opinion. That's just capitalizing on marketing. I mean, you're selling the product already and they're trying to make money out of it on top of that, which indicates to me it's a big money grab thing at the moment because it's hyped. Who doesn't want virtual reality? Who doesn't want to be in the game? Everybody does. I wish it was amazing. But yeah, let me know what you think. I mean, that's just some of my opinions. That's just some random guy on the internet rambling. But you know what? I'm just like you. You might also be in between, like, do I spend the money on this? This is a lot of money. I could spend it on a lot of other things. Whatever. I don't care. Go buy hookers or booze or other games. or another console. There is a lot of things that you can spend that money on. And will it be worth it right now, or are we going to see a PSVR Pro next year this time, which will be way better and will fix all these issues? It's just too early to tell. I do not even know if I'm going to buy one at this point. I'm not hating on it. I'm not liking it either, which is why I'm making this video. That's just my experience. You can take it, you can leave it, you can go out and buy 10 for all I care. It is just where I am right now with the purchasing decision of the PlayStation VR and the hype around it. Let me know in the comments below what you think. If you like the video and you want to see more of these kind of things where we just kind of talk about things and just back up on the hype and just kind of just chat about it and talk about experience and stuff, because YouTube's supposed to be a community and we're supposed to talk about stuff like for real. Anyway, as always, thanks for watching. Be sure to comment and subscribe below, and I'll see you in the next video.